The first and perhaps most insidious mindset that keeps people trapped in a life of quiet desperation is the perpetual deferral of happiness and success to a distant hypothetical future. This is the someday I'll mentality, a clever trick of the mind that creates a psychological buffer zone between your current reality and your desired destiny. It's the internal narrative that whispers, "I'll start truly living when I get that promotion," or "I'll focus on my health after this busy season at work," passes, or "I'll pursue my passion once the kids are older and I have more time." This mindset is so powerful because it provides a comforting illusion of progress without requiring any of the uncomfortable, messy, and risky action that real progress demands. It allows you to feel like a future-oriented, ambitious person while you remain perfectly stationary in the present, safely insulated from the possibility of immediate failure or judgment. The deep neurological payoff for this is that you get to enjoy the daydream of a better future without experiencing the anxiety that comes with stepping into the unknown today. You are trading the potential for a fulfilled life for the guaranteed comfort of a familiar, albeit unsatisfactory, present. The fundamental breakdown here is a misunderstanding of how time and achievement work. Life is not a destination you arrive at. It is a continuous journey of moments, and by constantly pushing your goals and your sense of self-worth into the future, you are effectively robbing yourself of the only time you ever truly have to create change, this very moment. The antidote, the fundamental shift that breaks this chain, is to move from a mindset of someday I'll to a mindset of now I can. This is about reclaiming your agency and understanding that the future is not a place you go to, but a reality you build from the bricks of your present moment decisions. It requires you to ask a different, more powerful question. Instead of asking, "When will the conditions be perfect?" you must ask, "What is the one thing I can do right now with the resources I currently have to move one step closer to the person I want to become?" This could be as simple as spending 15 minutes researching a business idea instead of scrolling through social media, making a single phone call to network, or going for a 10-minute walk instead of watching another episode of television. These small, consistent acts of now accumulate into a momentum that shatters the illusion of someday. They rewire your identity from someone who is waiting for their life to begin to someone who is actively building it, piece by piece, every single day. This is how you close the gap between your current reality and your vision, not by a giant leap you plan for someday, but by the 1,000 tiny steps you choose to take today and tomorrow and the day after that. Another powerful force that keeps brilliant, capable people locked in cages of their own making is the overwhelming primal human need for certainty. Your brain is hardwired for survival, and its primary directive is to predict the outcome of your actions to keep you safe from harm. In our modern world, this ancient survival mechanism manifests as a deep-seated fear of the unknown, leading to what we can call the certainty trap. This is the mindset that chooses the familiar discomfort of a known, even if painful, present over the ambiguous potential of an uncertain future. It's the reason someone will stay in a dead-end job for decades, tolerating low pay and a lack of fulfillment, because the predictable misery of each Monday morning feels safer than the terrifying question mark of what might happen if they quit and try something new. It's the reason people remain in loveless or even toxic relationships, because the certainty of being lonely with someone feels less frightening than the uncertainty of being alone or having to navigate the dating world again. The brain, in its quest to protect you, will consistently and persuasively argue that the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. This mindset is a catastrophic miscalculation of risk. It overvalues the avoidance of short-term potential pain and massively undervalues the long-term guaranteed cost of stagnation. The price of staying in the certainty trap is a life of regret, a slow erosion of your spirit, and the death of your potential. The way out is not to eliminate the fear, that's impossible, but to reframe your relationship with uncertainty and redefine what you consider to be risky. The truly dangerous path is not the one filled with unknown challenges. The truly dangerous path is the one that guarantees you a future of what if and if only. You must consciously and courageously decide that the pain of regret is far greater than the pain of discipline or temporary failure. You must learn to see uncertainty not as a threat, but as the very field upon which all opportunity, growth, and adventure is played. Stepping into the unknown is the price of admission for a life of excitement, learning, and self-discovery. It is how you fulfill your need for variety and growth, needs that are just as fundamental as your need for certainty. When you make this shift, you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking the more empowering question, "What if I succeed? And what is the cost to my soul if I never even try?" A third mindset that acts as a powerful anchor, holding people back from the life they deserve, is what we can call resource-based thinking. This is the belief that you can only take action, only pursue your dreams, once you have acquired all the necessary resources you believe are required for success. This mindset has people waiting for the perfect moment, which never comes. They say, "I'll launch my business once I have enough capital saved up," or "I'll write that book when I have a full year of free time," or "I'll get in shape once I can afford a personal trainer and a gym membership." This creates a perfect, self-reinforcing circle of inaction and frustration. You can't get the resources without taking action, and you won't take action until you have the resources. It's a prison of your own design, built with the bricks of not enough. The underlying belief is that the power for change lies outside of you, in the money, the time, the connections, the perfect conditions. This is a complete and utter illusion. The most successful people on the planet did not start with all the resources. They started with a powerful vision and a relentless commitment to becoming resourceful. The critical shift you must make is from resource-based thinking to result-based or resourceful thinking. This is a fundamental rewiring of your brain's operating system. Result-based thinking begins with an ironclad commitment to the outcome. You decide with every fiber of your being what you are going to achieve. You lock in the what and the why with such intensity that the how ceases to be a barrier and instead becomes a fascinating puzzle to be solved. When your outcome is non-negotiable, your mind is forced to become creative. It starts to see opportunities, shortcuts, and alternative paths that were invisible to you before. You begin to leverage the resources you do have. Your time, your energy, your creativity, your passion, your ability to connect with others with maximum efficiency. You realize that a lack of money can be solved with creativity and a compelling offer. A lack of time can be solved by ruthlessly eliminating distractions and delegating tasks. A lack of knowledge can be solved by finding a mentor or consuming the right information. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. It is the ability to find a way, to make a way, when no obvious way exists. This shift taps into the core human needs for growth and significance. It makes the journey an adventure of problem-solving and self-discovery, which is infinitely more rewarding than simply waiting for a mythical day when all the stars align and you have everything you think you need. Finally, we come to the deepest and most personal level of being stuck, the identity story. This is not merely a belief or a habit. It is a story you have told yourself for so long about who you are that it has become woven into the very fabric of your identity. These are statements like, "I'm just not a disciplined person," "I'm bad with money," "I'm not a natural leader," "I'm shy," or "I'm not creative." These are not observations. They are declarations. And your brain, which is wired to be consistent with your identity, will work tirelessly to make sure your actions prove this story true. If you identity as someone who is bad with money, you will subconsciously make financial decisions that validate that story, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you identity as shy, you will avoid social situations that could disprove the label, thus reinforcing it. This is the master level of being stuck because you are not just fighting a behavior. You are fighting your sense of self. To change your life at the most profound level, you cannot simply change what you do. You must change who you believe you are. The process begins with the radical awareness that your past does not equal your future. You are not your past behaviors. Those behaviors were simply the result of a strategy you were running based on an identity you had adopted, often from childhood or from a single defining moment. The moment you decide to change, you must consciously and courageously kill the old identity. You must declare with conviction, "That is no longer who I am. Then you must craft a new, empowering identity. You must decide, I am a disciplined and financially intelligent person. I am a powerful and connecting leader. This new identity cannot remain a vague affirmation. It must be backed by new evidence. You must start taking actions no matter how small,